comes the wind. Here comes the wind. Whoa, that is some swell. On this journey I'm going to be taking you to one of my many favourite places. It's called the Bill, and I'll be talking about some of the amazing wildlife and scenery I've seen out there over the years. I do have permission from the landowners to go out there, and it's good practice and good manners wherever you are, not just on Cape, to ask for permission before you walk out on somebody else's land. Anyway, enough rambling, let's get out there and enjoy the walk. It sure is windy, and that wind is cold, but the sun is out. That makes it so much better. Very wet through here. I have to be very careful. I don't want to slip and put the camera straight into the mud. I love these spring days when it's a really crisp northerly wind. There's a little wagtail down there on the water's edge. There was a redshank. Dotty redshank did its doo-doo-doo. It flew away as I arrived. Just hate it when pheasants do that. I was just erupted from the brambles down here in front of me. God. There's a redshank down there, and 3 or 4 oyster catchers, a few mallard, lots and lots of rabbits, of course. Beep. A lovely wild sound. I'm walking directly into the wind, so it's going to be a bit of a test for the dead cat. It was rather nice for a little flock of 25 or 26 teal, Eurasian teal, just flew in over the top, flew around the lake, saw me, and went back over the top again. There must be some wet ground up over the top of the hill that they're utilising. There's obviously two redshank. One's just flown over to the other side of the lake, and there's still one on the water's edge, just the other side of where the little outlet goes. You might be able to make out his little white undercarriage. I doubt whether you'll see his red legs, but I think it's about to fly. He's calling there. There we go. Little dotty redshank. Going to join its mate somewhere over the other side. I'm quite sheltered here, but the wind is coming from over in that direction. And when I get round this corner in a minute, I'm going to get blasted. It's going to be pretty chilly. Chilly and, I hope, somewhat spectacular, but we'll see in a minute. This is a little bit of walk that I love. I love this bit of coastline along here. Fulmars like to nest out here on these cliffs. Here comes the wind. Here comes the wind. Almost like those cliffs there. Whoa. Some big swells out there. I wouldn't want to be on a little boat in that. So I'm in the wind now, as you can see. and it is raw. It's a very lazy wind, one of those that's going to go straight through you and not around you. But I'll swing the gimbal around again and show you the cliffs. Isn't that just lovely? Got the big swells coming in. I'm going to have to stop and put my gloves back on because it is bloody cold. Some swell. Looking a bit like I might have to curtail my walk, because it looks like the rain's going to be coming in, and although this is a very good camera, it's not waterproof. And I don't want to get it wet. This is the second route. Rather than going alongside the lake, you come up through the yard. Again, stressing the fact that it's nice to actually ask permission before just walking through. Way out to the bill and out to the bird is called the Loch Errol pines, although they're like most of the other pines on the island are slowly dying away. Very sad. Still a very cold wind. Those are the pines. Very sadly depleted. Had some good birds in there. Yellow-browed warblers from Siberia, and as are some red-breasted flycatchers. There's a spot of rain on my face. It's not good. I don't know where that's come from. There's a Blythe's reed warbler feeding in the brambles alongside one of the walls around here a few years ago. Very difficult to operate the camera with fairly thick gloves on. You can see the ground is absolutely saturated. Now this part of the walk is a good spot to be looking for meadow pipits and also rock pipit in bad weather. They get blown up off the shoreline and they take refuge up on the top. And also wheatears. We're now in early March and they will soon be arriving to find their breeding sites on the island. They are a stunning bird. The first male wheatear I see every spring. I still get as big a buzz now as I did do 40 years ago when I saw the first one. Beautiful birds. Last October we were lucky enough to have an American wader visit the island. Well, we had two actually, but the first one, an upland sandpiper, loved this part of Cape out on the end of the bill. That's where it spent its entire stay of a few days. It really enjoyed going down onto these little grassy ledges right at the top of the cliff and right on the very edge, which made watching it and relocating it if it flew away somewhat precarious. It's a stunning little bird though. This little area here has historically been a really good place to see snow buntings in the autumn, and it's a spot that we check fairly regularly. Anywhere along this coastline is a good spot to look for minke whales. It just shows you how close. I heard this one blowing 3 or 4 times before I could actually find it. It's right in close to the coastline. Always hopeful of finding a little wader on this scrape. The scrape is only ever here in the winter, in the wet weather, but as yet I've not seen anything on there. But one day. But you get fairly good numbers of sedge warblers breeding on Cape, and one of the better places to see them is here in West Bog and also over in East Bog. The bushes in the middle of the bog here are an excellent spot to see reed buntings displaying in the spring, and also this area here with the wet areas all through the year is a good area to flush snipe, common snipe. Walking up through the paddock here now to Ollie Gully. Ollie Gully is an area, there's a little line of trees here, the willows and scrub. It's called Ollie Gully because an olivaceous warbler was reported here back in the day, which was subsequently re-identified as a Sykes warbler, but the name Ollie Gully has continued to this day. I just love walking through this little bit here because you just never know how much silt has been deposited in this wet patch. Sometimes you can walk through with your runners, other times you need your wellies. There's always an experience. Here we are walking up through the base of Ollie Gully. It's incredibly wet. It's amazing, muddy and wet, and still windy. Here you go, the Ollie Gully bushes. Obligatory shadow, of course. Have to get that one in. Have to come up this little track. This little track here will bring us back up to the lake. I think we're all looking forward to a spell of dry weather. Let the ground dry out a bit. Make walking a lot easier. It doesn't exactly look like that dry weather is coming immediately. And we come back into the farmyard. It's when it's dry. This is it's a favourite spot for turtle doves and, believe it or not, snow buntings. Seems to like either the very tip of the bill or they like it here as well. And as the photograph shows on that the machinery over there underneath the tree, it can be fairly confining at times. You can get pretty close up to them. Well folks, I hope you enjoyed that little loop in very windy, sunny weather. It's a lovely habitat. Anyway, please like and subscribe and come back and watch the next one next week sometime. And thanks very much.